How to apply for the IR5 parent visa. Are you a U.S. citizen but your parent lives outside of the United States? If so, you may be able to bring them over on an IR5 visa to live with you. We will explain the application process and answer common questions about this immigrant visa in today's video. What is an IR5 visa? The IR5 visa allows the parent of a U.S. citizen to lawfully live and work in the United States. What are the IR5 visa requirements? The requirements for an IR5 visa are: the sponsor must be a U.S. citizen and of age 21 or older. The sponsor must have the financial means to support the parent until they start working. The sponsor must live in the United States and have a U.S. address. And the sponsor must include a copy of their birth certificate to prove the relationship between the sponsor and the parent. How do I apply for an IR5 visa for my parent? The first step is for the sponsor to file the form I-130, officially called the Petition for an Alien Relative, to establish the parent-child relationship. After the USCIS grants the petition, the rest of the process is a little different depending upon where the parent lives. If they are applying from abroad, their application will go through consular processing. If they are applying from within the United States, they will go through a process known as adjustment status. If the parent is applying from outside of the United States, when the petition is granted, the parent will be required to fill out the form DS-260, the immigrant visa application, and submit proof that they are the parent. This will be sent to the National Visa Center, or NVC, which reviews the application. After the NVC processes the application, it will be sent to the embassy or consulate where the parent lives. If the parent is applying from within the United States, to apply using the adjustment of status, the parent must have entered the United States on a valid visa or the visa waiver program. At this stage, the parent will submit Form I-485, known as the Application for Adjustment of Status. After receiving this Form I-485, the USCIS will mail a date, time, and location for the parent to have their fingerprints taken and eyes scanned. This is called a biometrics appointment. The green card interview. Next, the parent will attend an interview at the U.S. consulate or embassy if going through a consular processing, and may need to attend an interview if using adjustment of status. Common questions. Will my parent be eligible for U.S. citizenship? After 5 years of having a green card, the parent will be eligible to apply for U.S. citizenship. I am a U.S. citizen under 21 years of age. Can I still sponsor my parents? No. The sponsoring child needs to wait until their 21st birthday to sponsor any parent. Can I sponsor my brothers and sisters in the same petition as my parents? No. If the parents have minor children abroad, they cannot be sponsored in the same petition. Instead, they need to be petitioned for separately by the sponsor as a U.S. citizen or by the parents when they become green card holders. Thanks so much for joining us today. Please learn more at boundless.com/IR-5. You can also follow us on Twitter or Facebook at Choose Boundless, and be sure to subscribe to the Boundless YouTube channel to receive notifications of all our new videos.